Okay, so now we are going to study about the standard rating cycle. That means for the purpose of comparison between various types of refrigerant, a standard rating cycle has been devised, that is for one only single stage freon compression. Okay, single stage freon compression. Freon is the refrigerant. Okay, now for air conditioning applications, that means for AC applications, for air conditioning applications, we have assumed the standard operating conditions. And what are those standard operating conditions? That T naught, that means the evaporator temperature, is assumed to be 5 degrees Celsius, and the condensation temperature is assumed to be 40 degrees Celsius, and the suction temperature is the temperature at the inlet of the compressor, that is assumed to be around 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so these are the assumptions for the AC application. And second part is for the refrigerant application. Okay, for refrigeration application, we have T naught as minus 15 degrees Celsius and Tk as 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, so these are the standard assumed temperatures for the sake of comparison between different types of refrigerants for various applications. Okay, so the key point is to remember these temperatures. Okay, so these are general temperatures that may be asked somewhere. Okay, so after having talked about the standard rating cycle, now we are going to talk about the effect of various parameters changes on the COP and other parameters. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the effect of change in evaporator pressure. Okay, so here we have cycle 1 2 3 4, that is the original cycle at the original operating pressure, that is P naught and Pk. Now what we do, we lower the evaporator pressure, that is the pressure for the process 4 to 1 is reduced, and it becomes now P naught dash. Okay, so this is the pressure now. So let us see what are the various effects that has been taking place due to this change. Okay, the first change that we can see very well here is the decrease in the specific volume. Okay, so at point first, the specific volume is B1, which is greater than the specific volume at this point, that is B1 dash. Okay, it can be inferred from the diagram, as we know that from this in pH diagram the specific volume starts increasing downwards. Okay, so the first observation over here is that B1 dash is greater than B1, that means specific volume increases. Second is the pressure ratio. What is the pressure ratio earlier? That was P2 over P1, this pressure ratio, and it is less than the P2 dash over P1 dash, that is P2 dash over P1 dash. Now P2 dash is same as P2, but you can see from this diagram that this difference is larger than this difference, so this pressure is actually increased, pressure ratio has increased by lowering the evaporator pressure. Okay, third inference that can be seen in the refrigerating effect. Okay, so look in the diagram that earlier the refrigerating effect was from here to here, that is from H4 minus H1. Now this Bundes point is slightly prior to the point 1. Okay, so now the refrigerating effect reduces only till this region. So we can see from this diagram that the area under 4 to 1 is greater than 4 dash 1 dash, that means the refrigerating effect have decreased. Refrigerating effect decreases because H1 dash minus H4 dash is less than H1 minus H4. Okay, enthalpy change in this case is lesser than the enthalpy change in the original case. Okay, now we talk about the power consumption. Power consumption is what? The work or amount of energy needed to drive the compressor. Okay, and how it can be calculated? H2 minus H1 for the original part. So you can look very well in the diagram that it is only this region, but for the lowering of evaporator pressure it goes from here to here, so it has increased. Okay, so we can write it over here that H2 dash minus H1 dash, which is the power needed to the compressor after lowering the pressure, and H2 minus H1 is the original power required, so that is greater. That means power consumption increases. Okay, now we talk about the next point, that is change in the volumetric efficiency. So for that, let us take the formula of volumetric efficiency that we wrote in the previous video, that is 1 minus C P2 over P1 1 by gamma minus 1. Okay, that is the volumetric efficiency formula. Okay, now we have seen above that the pressure ratio actually has increased. That means this term has increased. Increasing of this term means a greater quantity would be subtracted from the one. That means the volumetric efficiency would also decrease. Okay, so volumetric efficiency is also lowered in this case. Now if we talk about the mass flow rate of the refrigerant, so this was the fifth point, refrigerating efficiency. Now we are talking about the mass flow of refrigerant, that we would need a larger mass flow rate or a lesser mass flow rate. Okay, so we know that let us say the capacity of cooling is fixed. That means that ton of refrigeration is fixed. Okay, so for a fixed cooling capacity, we can see from the diagram that the refrigerating effect has decreased. So decrease in the refrigerating effect means that we would need to flow the refrigerant more, because the ton of refrigeration is fixed. Let us say we require 10 ton of refrigeration cooling. Okay, so earlier the refrigerating effect was larger. That means lesser amount of refrigerant would be needed to produce that amount of refrigeration, but now the refrigerating effect has reduced per kilogram of mass, so we would need to flow more amount of refrigerant, we need to pass more amount of refrigerant over here. Okay, so that can be reduced very well, that mass flow rate increases for a given refrigerant capacity. And if we talk about COP, that is refrigerating effect upon work input, so we know that refrigerating effect has decreased, work input has increased, so both these factors co-align and results in the decrease of COP. Okay, so this was the first part, that means effect of evaporator pressure on various variables. Okay, thank you.